English is mandatory foreign language in many countries, at least in East Asia, even though in North Korea. Yes, no matter how they isolated from the rest of the world, but they still recognize English as international language. Many people like me started to learn English from primary school until uni around 6 to 10 more years, but the reality is they maybe got really high score in English exam, but are not able to understanding or speaking in English fluently for their daily life. I am a genuine Asian background English learner. If you don't know me, my name is York, a Korean Chinese based in Australia, a trilingual speaker. Apart from English, I can also speak Korean and Chinese. So this video today, I will share with you how I studied English from scratch with some study tips and the story behind me based on my experience. Maybe the school never tell you. Learning English or whatever language is always a process combined inputting and outputting. So my first tip regarding this is invest more time on your outputting rather than inputting. Okay, why? I'm not gonna show you a bunch of professional research studies and books, because I am the best evidence. Let me show you more details about this. As I mentioned previously, apart from English, I'm a bilingual speaker, which is Korean and Chinese. But there is a sequence. Korean is one of my mother tongue, and I studied Chinese when I was just 6 years old. During my English learning journey, I always think back in some moment, how I learned Chinese when I was just 6, because I didn't know one word in Chinese at that time. There is zero inputting. There is no YouTube video and smart devices as well at that time, because before that I just in Korean kindergarten for 1 year and switched to elementary school in China for year 1. I never forget the first day of my primary school. I wanna borrow an eraser from a student next to me. Oh, in Chinese, the eraser is called 橡皮. But at that time, I don't even know this block is called 橡皮. So I just do this gesture. You may ask, did your Chinese tutor not teach you Chinese? Yes, she did. She tried, I can only say, because she used Chinese to teach me Chinese. Everyone in the class is understanding what the tutor said and following the class flow, except me. I just like idiot in that class. And I totally broke down because the environment I'm familiar was suddenly changed, and the people around me, they are speaking a language which I totally not understand. You know, a boy at that age just directly show his emotion. I cried all day, and my tutor called my grandfather, and she suggested me I should go back Chinese kindergarten for the 1 year at least, and then I just start my Chinese journey. After 1 year, even though I still can't recognize all Chinese characters nor grammas, but I can start to understand what they say and start to communicate with them. How? Because I focus on speaking, express my thoughts, aim to talk with others rather than memorize all vocabularies or like sentences stuff to pass the exam. I just learned 5 to 10 words per day and practice to speak it out with others. Even when I come back home, I will talk these new words with my grandparents. They are quite good listeners. With it was gradually become a daily routine. Just no more than 1 year, I started to catch up their speed and to talk with them. At that time, I was just 7 years old. I hope when you are learning English, treat output as a priority in your mind. And output is also your reflection way. When you output, that means your neural connection is finished. It will help you to enhance your memorize solidly. That's the first step, but it doesn't mean you should stop the inputting. This is regarding my next tip, inputting consistently and smartly. Inputting is always an ongoing process. If you are not inputting, it's impossible to outputting. Just like me when I was 6 years old, you know, 橡皮. So be disciplined, never stop. This is fundamental thing you should do in your English learning journey. At the meantime, inputting smartly. I just started learning English when I was just in local primary school rather than English international school, because many people around me, they went to international school since a very young age and learn English so fluently, but that's not my case. When I was in high school, my English tutor, she's Chinese. She just taught me in a really general way, like all Asian countries did. Memorize new words list and practice by themselves and learn how to use a grammar and make a sentence, do the homework and this stuff. And I still remember she always say, 哦，你们要把它记住，然后把它背下来，然后 repeat. I'm not saying she is wrong, but I understood and I realized maybe she started to learn English at my age Maybe that's the only way. You just read it, write it down, and repeat again until memorize it. That's true. But the thing is, you and me are different. We are currently in a digital age. We have YouTube, TikTok, podcast, audiobooks, Duolingo, books, and a bunch of online resources. We have much more choices, so there's no reason we don't use it. I always take 3 to 4 hours per day on YouTube videos, and I learned how a native English speaker speaks English, because the way of input decides how we output. If I found something new for me, I will pause it to look it up. That's the way I always acquire a new vocabs or phrase in my daily life. I will make a video to talk about this next time. Watching videos is the best way for me, I think. It's my opinion, because it stimulates our visual, auditory, and emotions at the same time. With the time going, I literally find it's growing on me. If you are inputting through YouTube videos in English, you will find you will gradually speak like them. I always watch English speaking videos through some YouTube channels. For me, I always watch Better Idea, Real Life English, Rudy Ohama, Bob Pili or Matt, and many else. Some of them are not native English speaker as well. I have put these YouTube channels links in the description, so take a check after that. It's so helpful. I love them. I love them so much. Tip number 3, create demands of speaking English. That's the most thing I want to talk in this video. Some of you probably say, oh, you can speak English well because you are in Australia. The answer is yes or no. Yes, because being in English-speaking country will make more opportunity for me to speak and practice English. No, because it really doesn't matter whether you are in Australia or not. I have so many excellent and talented people who can speak English so well, while they never visited an English-speaking country in their life. And I also saw many people around me, even though they have migrated in Australia for decades and their English is still like I can't say all Asian countries, but the reality is our current education system is designed to let us to pass the exam. We cannot change the whole rules or system, but what we can do is create needs by ourselves to speak in English. If you have Asian background like me, I think you already maybe got enough input through your prepare your exam. Maybe you already done a lot of readings, writings, or listenings like an input thing. You may be the best exam taker, but I am not. If you have someone to talk with, that's good, keep doing. If you don't have one to talk with like me, just get help from online resources through native speakers. Following the conversation or talks by English speakers, try to following the speaking in the video, because you definitely will get a lot of new ideas or thoughts. So after that, try to use your own words to summarize it and speak it out. It doesn't matter you have no one to talk with, you can talk by yourself. At least I will do. I know this sounds a little bit weird, but I am doing all the time and it does work very well. And the last one, don't afraid to make mistakes. One of the core reasons for many people of Asian background can't speak English fluently because shyness or the fear of making mistakes. I totally understand they probably know it, but they are afraid to speak it out unless they can speak perfectly. If you have watched the street interview videos regarding this by Asian boss in their YouTube channel, you maybe can learn about it, because many people are nervous to expose their oral speaking with mistakes in the public. But as one idiom said, 本末倒置, 본말전도라고 하죠? Many people get it in a wrong order, but there is no perfect standard in learning field. If there is no mistakes, there is no progress either. You can't wait to be great enough to start. You have to start right now to be great. Take as many mistakes as you can, and during this journey, people will make fun of you, laughing at your pronunciation, your accent, blah blah blah. But you should take responsibility for yourself. You are not learning for them, right? I am not a native English speaker. I will make mistakes as well. Pronunciations, grammars, writing typos, bunch of mistakes I still make even when I use my mother tongue. I'm not a native Mandarin Chinese speaker when I was just 6 years old, but I did it, and I never imagined one day I can film a video in English, put on YouTube channel. But it is exactly happening. You are watching it. I hope this video today could help you somehow in your English learning. If you think it's helpful, please give me a like and subscribe. I will tell you more about the self-growth and my journey in your future. And also, if you found any mistakes I made in this video, just correct me in the comments, okay? I appreciate that. So thank you for watching and see you next one. Peace. One of the core reasons is what? you will make least mistakes and less mistakes.